Hey there. I'm telling you about the best and the worst shoes that I found during this process of recovering from my Achilles repair surgery. This is what they don't tell you about after you get the surgery. The shoes you wear is gonna help or hinder you or make it worse. But foot pain is not fun. And throughout this process, I'm going to share with you the shoe that I wore prior to my injury, the shoe I wanted to wear, what my foot got used to, and then my PT advised me not to. What I ended up wearing because it's what I have, and also what I found to be a little more useful. Granted, honestly, I work from home, so I'm not going a lot of places. So needing shoes was not really that big of a deal. That said, let's get right into the 4 pairs of shoes. What from worst to best. Okay, let's start with the worst shoes you want to wear while you recover. Well, once you come out of the boot, let me put it that way, because this is a barefoot shoe. It's what they call a minimalist type of shoe. As you can see, zero support. I love this shoe. Prior to my injury, I was wearing this shoe every day, not just the gym. I wore it to walk, I wore it to run errands. It's just a comfortable shoe, for me at least, and I got used to the minimalist approach. That said, trying to wear this after the boot comes off is not conducive to healing because there's zero support here and you need all the support that you can get and cushioning while you recover. So this is the worst shoe post removing your boot or post surgery returning to walk. This is the worst shoe, at least in my opinion. But also my PT agreed with me that this is not the shoe to what you want to wear when you're trying to relearn to walk, so as not to end up re-injuring yourself. The second worst shoe, and it's not really the worst shoe so much as a shoe that might not work, and it is this. This is a shoe that I was wearing prior to getting my barefoot shoe. But also it's fairly comfortable and it was a cross trainer. So I wore this to the gym. I could wear this out. It could be an everyday shoe. I've even run in this shoe, and for my style of, I guess, comfort, to my comfort level, I like this shoe. That said, this piece of it, while there is support, for me, I find this digs a lot. Not a lot, but it rubbed a little bit too much on the incision area, but just below the incision area too. I have scar tissue buildup, so there's this bump where my incision is, and this is adding to that bump or making that bump a little bit more prominent because it's pushing up against it. So in that regard, this shoe might not be the best just because this rubs on the incision area, especially if you're wearing it the initial stages after coming out of the boot. It's and your foot tends to swell. This is gonna be painful because this is gonna rub directly on the incision. At least for me, it did. And then afterwards, it was staying underneath the incision and therefore making that scar tissue a little bit bulkier, or has a tendency to make it a little bulkier. So this would be the second least favorite shoe for the discomfort it can cause around the incision area. This shoe, this is a Nike free Metcon. So it's a cross between their Metcon shoe, which I love it for the sturdiness and stability there, and their free running shoe. So that's where you get that fly knit look and feel. Let me show you. I mean, I still wear the shoe, truth be told, to the gym sometimes when I need to lift and I need to get more, I need to have more stability on the ground. So I do work around that discomfort by wearing a little thicker sock, and sometimes just putting a band-aid on the back. But again, not the best if it's irritating your incision. And then there is this shoe. I bought this shoe for running, which I had prior to my injury. And this is my running shoe. It's a Brooks. I think this is the Ghost 14. I love this shoe for the comfort it gives while running. And as a pure running shoe, it works. And I use it for walking as well. Because of that, I want to say that rolling action that it allows. It doesn't have that big of a cushion, but it's enough cushion for me to feel, not feel jarred by the ground. That said, here's why this is the best shoe thus far that out of what I have, or the shoe that works the best for what I have. This is much lower than this, and therefore provides less irritation, or irritates the scar or the area, incision area, a lot less. So it doesn't irritate me around the incision area, nor is it pressing up against the incision area and then therefore does not contribute or isn't contributing to the bulkiness of the scar tissue. I'll show a picture of my scar so that you understand what I'm talking about. But this is the shoe. I've seen other recommendations, the Hoka brand as a recommendation, because of that cushion that you get. But for me, it's less about the cushion and more about what happens here. Everywhere else, it's okay. And the last shoe that I wear, which interestingly enough has heel, my PT says that she doesn't want me to wear this too often, but I will say it provides the least amount of digging if I want something that's not a sneaker. I want something a little more dressed up. So this is a boot. This is a no-name boot. I don't even remember where I bought it, honestly. So this is not super hard, and it is higher than where my incision is, or where the other shoe irritates. And it almost wraps around the area as opposed to digging in. So that's why I like it. And then here is pretty soft. So there is support here, but the rest of it is pretty soft. And then the shoe itself is very sturdy. And also this no slip bottom, beautiful. So this is my favorite shoe outside of the sneaker that I wear. There's a high top training shoe that I wanted to get, but it was a little too pricey, and I honestly didn't want to get a pricey shoe that I wasn't sure I was gonna love. So I haven't bought it. This is the shoe that I'm thinking about. I'm still going to explore getting it, but I don't know why these shoes gotta cost so much. So that's what I wanted to share about the shoes. Hopefully I can get back to my barefoot shoe. In speaking to my PT at the initial stages, and when I got this shoe, I got the shoe maybe about, I think it may have been a month, if not a little bit more than a month, that I had been wearing this non-stop prior to my injury. So I don't know if it's, and I switched. I went from wearing this to this. So I don't know if it's that transition of being in the barefoot shoe that made me susceptible to my injury. We will never know. But the point is, I love this shoe. I can't wait to get back to wearing it. I intend to get back to wearing it. But right now, it stays on the shoe rack. I transition between these two. I have this in other colors. And as you can see, this one's a little dirty because this is what my even up was on, stayed on when I was wearing it only in the house. So, but yeah, I go between these two. This is the Brooks Ghost 14 and the Nike Free Metcon. Which shoe would you prefer, or do you prefer, or which shoe did you find worked well for you after you did your Achilles repair surgery? I would love to know in the comments. If you have any recommendations, be sure to drop them in the comments and let me know, because I'm still on the hunt for a high top shoe because my scar isn't going anywhere, truth be told. So I'm gonna try out the shoe that I said that I'm gonna try out and maybe update this video later on. But for now, this is what I got. So thanks for watching my shoe recommendation, or not really recommendation, but my shoe story, or the shoes that nobody tells you that you need after surgery. Because honestly, nobody told me this. It was just through my own experience. I'm like, wait a second, this shoe is uncomfortable, or this is hurting my foot. What then can I find? And then in searching, all I saw were running shoes. I was like, I don't want a running shoe to wear to the gym. I need something with stability. That's why the high top shoe came up, and I'm going to get it, I think. Try it out and see how it works out. But I'll come back and let you know. All right? Bye.